This idea of God being perfect, omnipresent, all-knowing, past, present, and future, everywhere at once, inside of you and outside of you, that's a very difficult thing to imagine. Even if you don't believe in God, can you imagine it? It's easy to imagine Zeus. It's easy to imagine that this is Jesus. But it is incredibly difficult to comprehend the idea of an omnipresent, all-knowing, omnipotent God. Yet, the idea, somebody thought of it. How? Who was the dude who had this idea that goes, I got this idea? There's this God. Who came up with that? You don't have a good answer for that. Not a new idea that science disproves God. That's not a new idea. This has been hashed out for thousands of years, going all the way back to Greece and before Greece. People that are the most intelligent people who've ever lived have debated this stuff for a long time. Those people weren't stupid. They weren't just being told stuff and then going, yep, I'm a follower, yep. Some of those people went down the dangerous road of direct experience. The dangerous road of direct experience. They didn't have the internet. Some of them didn't even know how to read. They were out in nature. Hindus, Greeks, Jews, all of them looking for direct experiences with God. 2,000 years ago, the literacy rate was 25%. Instead of saying that's not what my Bible says, it'd be like, I saw Jesus today in a vision. That's the kind of stuff they were saying. God came to me in a vision. They got like, is that really God? There'd be people like, well, I don't believe that was really God. So let me show you. Here's fire coming out of the sky. God did that. Your ancestors aren't stupid. There is a lot of very intelligent people back there. If any of you guys think you're smarter than they are, go back and try reading one of their books. Any of them. Any of them. You'd be like, you feel like this is idiocracy times 1,000. The rabbit hole goes really deep. If you can imagine the flying spaghetti monster and you go, oh, that proves that God's not real and that's a meme. The truth is that if you believe that your brain is reality and that's what you believe, there are neurons firing in your brain and there is a physical existence of the flying spaghetti monster going on inside your brain, which means it is real. The flying spaghetti monster God thing, there's some truth to that because there's a physical manifestation in this world. People draw pictures. People have written books about it. But is that as real as the God in the Bible? Not quite. Because that God is based off the God in the Bible. And it all leads back to monotheism, which is crazy. Well, there's only one way to God, and that's through Christ. That might be true, but there are many paths to Christ. There might be one way to the Father through the Son. But there are many paths to the Son. But we got to realize that many people are approaching God from different directions. And they will find the nature of Christ one way or another if they focus on the love. Because it won't matter to them whether or not historical Jesus was real. Like, for example, do you love Mario Brothers? Do you love Star Trek, Star Wars? Are you not inspired by these? Do you care really if it really, really happened? If it really, really... Well, Han Solo, he didn't really die there, man. So therefore, Star Wars is just a bunch of baloney. Han Solo's not a historical figure, man. I believe Jesus was real and is real. Is real. Is real. However, if you don't believe in any of that, his story is just as inspiring as Star Wars, Star Trek, Dragon Ball Z. Love is at the core of it. And that's what makes him different from all the other gods, if you want to know the answer to that. None of the other gods will die for you and live for you like Jesus does. A lot of people are waiting for Jesus to come back. Matthew chapter 28, verse 20. He says, I am always with you till the end of time. This means that he never left. He's there. Wake up to him. If you believe in the visions of Paul, how could you possibly believe that is real if you think that Jesus left completely? Especially after he told everybody that he's always there. He's always with you until the end of time. Corinthians 3:16, the Spirit of God dwells in you. all the time. You don't have to wait any longer. Stop waiting on Jesus. Jesus is waiting on you. Jesus is waiting on you. Today's practical test for you, for fun, take time, sit for a few minutes, imagine God. Imagine it. Really imagine it. Don't just read the Bible and then imagine what the Bible says. Sit there and imagine what God is for about 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. And go, well, maybe that ain't real. Maybe it is real. Be like a child. Reach out strongly. Make it as vivid as you possibly can. As vivid as you possibly can. If God was in this room right now, what would it be like? What is this? Is God already here? What would it feel like if God was approaching? Would I be scared? Would I be excited? Would I feel guilty? It's the opposite of Buddhist meditation. The Buddhist meditation, they want you to meditate and they want you to empty your mind. Pay attention to your thoughts. I'm telling you to do the opposite. This is another path. This is another kind of meditation. This is a meditation where instead of imagining all of your thoughts drifting away and you're just an observer, that works too. I'm saying try the opposite. Instead, imagining God in all his glory. All at once. Everything at once. The creation of the universe. The Big Bang. Past, present, and future. What does God look like if you can imagine God? What does God feel like if you can imagine? What kind of emotion would you have? Get really into this. Do it for fun. Imagine God in all his glory. Imagine what a perfect God would be like. A God that knows all, is everywhere, is through you, can and does do everything, is responsible for all the good in the world, is responsible for all the pain and suffering as well. Responsible for all of it. If you have resentment towards God, if there's people that have been hurt, if there's pain in your life, in your hallucination, challenge God. In your hallucination, in your dream, in your imagination, go, I'm calling you out, God. You did this. You did this to me. You did this to me. You did this to me. For fun, call out God. Shake your fist at God. Whatever you got to do. For fun, have this hallucination moment. If you can watch Star Trek, if you can watch Days of Our Lives, if you can entertain Avatar, take 5 minutes to play with this hallucination. Do it. You might be surprised what you'll find. If you can do this, you will be entertained. I guarantee it. If you take that seriously, in the sense that you really go deep into this hallucination state, this really going after, putting your full self-concentration, not on what your pastor said, not on this, but what's beyond this, the God that is hard to put into words, the God that is not an idol, the God that is all. For fun, imagine it. And you will have a trippy experience. You can do it before bed if you want to have some really cool dreams. You can do it first thing in the morning. Do it. Personally. You don't need to tell me that I don't believe in that, so I'm not going to. This is personal. This is between you and your brain. This is between you and God, or you and your own personal life. And you do this, and you do it openly. In the sense that, sincerely. And you go, well, that didn't do anything for me. You can say that. And then move on. And then later on, when you're bored, try again. Our ancestors did that. And they came up with everything that you see. Our ancestors did that. And they invented all of the technology that you see. Tesla did that. Albert Einstein did that. Plato did that. It's imagination plus faith plus direct experience. You need imagination in order to get you to where you want to. You have to know where you're going. You have to have some kind of vision of where you're going. So you got to have imagination. Then you got to have faith in that, which means you can't waver. You got to get the job done with the faith. And then you got to have direct experience, which means you've got to pay attention to what's right in front of you. Which means if you believe in God, it's not enough to just read about God and imagine God. You need direct experience with God.